What's the crack? And welcome back to the Irish Boys podcast. Here once again to discuss life as a Manchester United fan. So, a couple of topics we're going to go through tonight. We're going to talk about the win on Monday. We are going to talk about Man United's current position in the league. We have to talk about Manchester United in contrast to what was the greatest game of football I've ever seen last night. I think that needs discussed. And then we're going to look ahead to the old rivalry, the big one. United and Liverpool on Sunday. So, starting off on a really positive note, Monday night, not beautiful, but extremely functional.
3 points.
3 points.
3 points.
And,
what did we think about him changing formations at halftime? Because I think that changed the whole game.
I thought it was a brilliant move.
You were for it?
Yeah.
I think it was a bit early,
really
but yeah. I think it was the one thing criticism we've had of Carrick recently, I think, is substitutions, and when he decides to change a game, which is on average around the 70th minute, and he pulled them out at half time and made the change and made the formation change, and it worked. Deserved, yeah, absolutely. He was terrible again, and don't have to all we can also go through bad patches, and you don't have to jump on his back, but I'm sure he knows himself he's not doesn't look confident at all, and if he had to put that one in, that dribble from Kobe Mainoo, unbelievable, brilliant, and just to finish that move off would have give the lad a wee bit of confidence, because he's obviously lacking that at the minute. Since he came back from AFCON, he's come with a fairly so criticism, but he rightly so deserved to be pulled at halftime.
And he's not the only one here. Brian Mbeumo looks like he has touched the Space Jam ball. He has forgotten how to play as a right winger. He's running into people. And how does a lad, right, who is visibly, right, 12, 13 stone of pure muscle, get pushed off the ball so easy?
Yeah.
Easy. Him and his Eden Hazard bum.
Yeah, he's just, I don't know what has happened, those two lads post AFCON, but they do not look like the players that started the season. Brian Mbeumo is one of the rare occurrences of a player that has actually suffered the appointment of Michael Carrick, because he has not looked good under Carrick. He looked better when he was in Amram's system and he was playing up top, up in that forward role. But when he's gone into a more traditional right side of the 4-2-3-1, he does not suit it.
Because it was hard to put your finger on what it is, because there's similar positions he's starting in. Apart from the odd game where if Cesc goes on the bench, he's starting as the 9. But he's still playing a wide role.
But he's not effective, Kieran.
No, he's not.
Players like him should be affecting the game, and he's not. He's doing, I don't know, and that's, I agree with Ruairi. For a big lad, he's so easily pushed off the ball. He loses possession way too much for my liking.
Yeah, do you know what? This is a weird statement, right? Because you watch players on TV and you think you can see certain things in him, right? I don't think he's as quick as you think he is. His burst of pace and stuff. Like, I watched, I'm going to reference it a lot in this podcast, okay? But I watched Bayern Munich play PSG. And you look at the wingers that they have: Gnabry, Mikel Olise, Luis Diaz, Due, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia. They are so quick, frighteningly quick. And the way they run at you would terrify you, because they can carry the ball at pace. And Mbeumo doesn't have that. I'm yet to see.
He did have that, Rory.
Yeah, he did, Mum. He did when he played for Brentford. The Brentford tactic was to get him in behind the defence so that he could charge down that byline and either play the ball to Visa or score himself. And I'm just not seeing that in him at the minute. He looks like he come back from AFCON and he's either carrying an injury or carrying too much weight.
Yeah, I think it's too much weight. And I think there's a bit of both there. But he looks very, what do you call that guy he's like a linebacker? Traore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks, I think he's piled on too much muscle. And that'll slow you up.
There could be that. And I think one of the things that Michael Carrick picked up on was that Ruben Amorim had an intensely strict training routine. And we've seen videos of this. Their gym routines were laid out for them, and the training drills were very intense. And when you went in, you probably worked every minute that you were in the United training ground. And I think there were all these rumours that came out in stories, wasn't there, that Michael Carrick had eased off on that he was trying to give them more confidence, more time off, more, leisure time. And some players will react to that, the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Cunha's and stuff, with complete professionalism, because that's who they are. And I just think it's maybe impacting some of the other players that aren't maybe taking advantage of all this downtime. Because Carrick is trying to get the job, right? So Carrick is going to behave in terms of the game that we watched and the way that these lads train and play in any way he can to eke out results to get the United job. And that's what that halftime, for context, that's what that halftime formation change felt like to me. It was like, it's the first time that Michael Carrick admitted to the world publicly with his decision making that he really wants the United job, and Champions League is the goal. So he doesn't care if he has to win ugly at Brentford at home, as long as he gets out of there with the 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the one job he was given, was to get United into the Champions League. You know?
I honestly think, Kieran, he was given the job of steadying the ship. I don't think him and Steve Holland, when they came in, Jonathan Woodgate, would have dreamt in their wildest dreams that they could go from the horror show that we've seen at Manchester United to the Champions League.
No. And that's what you have to give Carrick and the team like a big credit for, from where we were and where the confidence was, and the way we were playing football. From where we're looking at us now, we wouldn't have dreamed to see United in third place. So many points ahead of Chelsea, Villa, above Liverpool, and everything. So would have bit your hand off in November for this.
Yeah, but
so
we're also taking advantage of the fact that Chelsea and Villa haven't loaded up late.
Totally.
We're doing our bit in winning games, right? But they've been shocking this past couple of months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's just going to be interesting to see for Jallo and Mbeumo whether they can, if Carrick is the man, right? They've been very, very poor in the Carrick regime. Can they upskill themselves to play the way that Carrick wants them to play? Or will they be a consequence of other eras signing players that maybe don't suit the Carrick system?
Yeah, could be.
Because for me, when you sign Brian Mbeumo and Matheus Cunha, you're signing them as the 10s in that Ruben Amorim system. And now Carrick is asking them to go out and play as wingers. Now, wingers, in my opinion, should have two solid attributes that are non-negotiables. And that is the pace to beat people and as many assists as goals. And to me, Matheus Cunha and Brian Mbeumo feel like goal scorers and not the assist makers that a Benjamin Sesko probably needs. That'd be fair.
I agree. They're inside forwards at times.
Exactly. And with the way that Carrick seems to be setting us up with more width and more going down the wings and trying to get the ball moving and utilising the space in the pitch, I don't fully know if that's Brian Mbeumo's game. He wants to be central and running in behind. Did you notice how many times the other night he actually came in centrally when he wasn't getting the ball?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was hugging Sesko at one point.
Yeah.
And
nearly.
He could be a victim of managerial change. There could be a couple in that squad if Carrick gets a job.
Yeah.
Because apparently, according to sources, that United are looking at traditional wingers.
Okay.
Traditional, as you said, Rory, hugs the touchline, dribbles past players, crosses the ball, gets the ball into that area.
Yeah, and they are the best teams in the world. I understand that, right? But you need to realise where they have recruited from, those teams. Like Kvaratskhelia, with all the respect in the world to Napoli, came from Napoli. I think he cost 50, 60 million. In the grand scheme of transfers, it's not a massive transfer, folks. Mikel Olise came from Crystal Palace. Ousmane Dembele is the exception. He was at Barcelona. He's always been tipped for superstardom, and now it's showing for him. Doué is an academy project from PSG, isn't he?
I think so, yeah.
Doué was lower leagues in France and then came into the PSG academy. Luis Diaz signed from effectively nobody into that Liverpool team and came alive. Sensational. So it's not hard to do. These players exist out there. And if the Ruben Amorim vision was Matthias Cunha and Brian Mbeumo, and that's not Carrick's vision, tough. They're recent signings. I'm sure we as fans on this podcast have expectations of Matthias Cunha and Brian Mbeumo doing well, don't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And I think, I would agree with more so with Mbeumo and Ahmad, but I think Cunha's kind of working into that role on the left side. He's got assists and goals, and he's improved. He still looks like he could do something. Like he's assist or be effective in that role. But he's the only one I think out of the new signings. Apart from Sesko, obviously he's doing well, still getting the goals. But Cunha looks at the start you would have said Mbeumo looks a better signing than Cunha, and now it's flipped for me. If that makes sense. Now Cunha looks the better signing.
I think Cunha is very apparent to Bruno Fernandes in the 10 role. I think with the way that Cunha tracks back and fights in midfield and the spirit that he has, that Matthias Cunha will eventually supersede Bruno Fernandes as the 10 behind the striker, which will allow Carrick to recruit a left winger. And I think with Jallo and Mbeumo as the right wingers, I don't think he will rush into the transfer market moment to sign more wingers. I think he has options there. The Rashford scenario is looking precarious now.
Yeah.
I don't know if Barca don't take him, where does he go?
The Barca one on another level.
At the minute. That United are looking at, is it Rafael Leao?
Yeah, I've seen that.
From AC Milan. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That he's out of favour. Apparently he doesn't, him and Max Allegri don't really get on. And they're saying that if Barcelona don't want Rashford, that it could be a sort of like, not a swap deal, but Rashford could go on loan to AC Milan, or AC Milan wanted Xerxes in the January window. But that's the name now that's doing the rounds.
Yeah.
Okay. Rafael Leao to Manchester United. Why?
What do you mean why?
Why? What would Leao cost you?
The team's looking at him as well, but apparently he is leaving AC Milan. He has fallen out with the fans, so much so that he's deactivated his Instagram account because of all the criticism that he's got. So that he definitely is leaving AC Milan in the summertime, or all the odds are pointing to it.
I just see him being a massive transfer one because of his popularity and his marketability. I think he's a big 70 to 80 million pound transfer fee.
Well, what they're touting is, I forget the name of the Italian paper, 50 million. That's the
rumoured.
The fee that they're putting on him. Rumoured is right.
Yeah, I could see Liverpool. Yeah, I could see Liverpool going for him because it's still. I don't think they've still. Salah leaving.
For your man, what do you call him? Diomande.
Oh, Diomande, yeah.
He's a midfielder.
Yeah, that's who Liverpool want.
Yeah, but as Kieran says, they will be looking to replace Mo Salah. They have to go big on a winger to appease the fan base. Yeah. Now Rafael is on the opposite side, I believe. Plays left.
He plays left.
Left. But I still
sort of name which. Sorry, Kieran.
No, sorry. I was only going to quickly say that I think that they haven't fully replaced Luis Diaz on that left.
Yeah, I agree. And who's the Liverpool manager next year?
Exactly. What were you saying, Rory?
You know what I mean? I was going to say, when it comes to that transfer, and Mum will hate this statement. Okay, so close your ears here, Mum. Rafael Leao isn't better than Marcus Rashford.
I don't know much about him, but apparently he's having a rotten season.
He hasn't had a season. He's one of these rare enigmas, right, that gets thrown around as if he is a world-class player when he's not. Rafael Leao shot to fame, right? And this is it's indicative of the world right now because of TikTok and FIFA. I think isn't he like a 94 in terms of pace?
He's one of the fastest. Yeah, he's one of the fastest players in FIFA.
So all of the younger generation, the 10-year-olds and the 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds and my daughter's generation, they think he's a superstar. because he's flying and he's brilliant on FIFA. And if you get the Rafael Leao card in your ultimate team, you're laughing. So he has this notoriety about him with fuck all substance. He's done nothing. He's never had a season, I think, where he's breached the 20 goal mark. He's not a top class player, but I guarantee you, Mum, he will go for top class money. AC Milan will not be looking 50 million. The lad, correct me if I'm wrong, he's still starting for AC Milan up front alongside Christian Pulisic, isn't he?
Again, I don't know.
I think he is.
I think he played against Juventus.
Well, he played against Juventus, yes, because that was one of an excerpt that they highlighted in this particular piece in the paper, that the crowd booed him mercilessly, and this is where he deactivated his Instagram account and stuff like that, with all the criticism he got after the Juventus match.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a whole pile about Rafael Leao. I watched him probably more for Portugal than I have for AC Milan. I'm not a fan. He's a speed merchant with not a whole lot at the end of it. He gets himself in brilliant positions, much like our Marcus, and his decision-making is poor, much like our Marcus.
I know what you're going to say, Rory.
I'm just telling you what I read.
I know what you're going to say, Rory, does here, but Jacqueline, here's one for you. Marcus Rashford.
No.
Right? So Barcelona are going to pay the 26 million. He said, Marcus Rashford says, I want to come back to Manchester United, play under Michael Carrick. I'll take a pay cut. Do you take him back?
Yeah. Marcus Rashford's still a quality player. He's just a freaking upstart.
He won't take the pay cut.
No, and that's another thing. Marcus Rashford left England because of all the carry-on that was going away from the football pitch. And I think that's why he wants to stay in Spain, because there's been no rumours, there's been no bad press, there's been nothing like that.
English media.
Yeah.
So I think it's a personal thing with Marcus Rashford as well. Would I take him back as a footballer? Yeah, I would. But he'd be sitting on the bench half the time.
Would he?
My opinion, Rory. My opinion. Yes, he would.
Opinion.
Okay. Well, answer me this. We will not get bogged down in another Marcus Rashford.
No, we shouldn't.
No.
We should move swiftly on.
United are playing Liverpool on Sunday. You've got a full squad that Rashford is a part of. Okay? Are you playing Brian Mbeumo or Marcus Rashford?
At the minute, Rashford.
Oh. But then Rashford doesn't play in that position.
He can, he has.
On the left.
He can play as a striker as well.
Are you going
right?
Cunha could play on the right side. Cunha has played on the right side before. Are you playing, forget the position, are you playing Marcus Rashford or Brian Mbeumo? Who are you finding?
On form, Marcus Rashford. It's a no-brainer.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you give it to him. He has done well at Barca. He has done well at Barca.
He has, Kieran, but he hasn't been sensational.
No, he hasn't. But you're taking up
Rafinha.
Right, so context is everything.
Yeah,
okay?
No, this whole podcast is not going to be about Marcus Rashford.
We're not talking about Marcus Rashford for the sake of talking about Marcus Rashford. You made the point that Manchester United are apparently interested in Rafael Leao, right? So the really calm head of me, Marcus Rashford, in my opinion, is a better footballer than Rafael Leao. Okay? Marcus Rashford will not cost us a transfer fee, Mum. We're creating problems of our own making when we start to prioritise a left winger after signing a brand new forward line last summer. That, to me, is fucking madness. You don't sign another winger at this transfer window. If you can bring Rashford back and he's happy to stay for that season and dwindle his contract down, that is the lesser evil than having to go into the transfer market, compromise our potential midfield and wing-back scenarios by trying to sign Rafael Leao. And that is a signing of the old United. I'll give you a stat, right? Rafael Leao has 9 goals and 3 assists. He equates, as the superstar forward of AC Milan, to 13 goal contributions, okay? Bit part Barcelona player Marcus Rashford has 6 assists and 7 goals. 13 goal contributions in a lot less minutes than Rafael Leao. Now, the two things there would be that Barcelona are probably the better football team, so Rashford gets to come on and look like the superstar. Okay. But it's on Rafael Leao to beat him, to oust him from those stats. I mean, Rafael Leao is playing for one of the best teams in Italy. He can't seem to shape himself into form. And I had a quick look at it there, Mum. Rafael Leao has played centre forward and left wing in various seasons at AC Milan. He's never got above 16 goals in all competitions.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I don't know much about him. All I'm telling you is that's what's being reported.
I get that, but please God, no. I mean, take Rashford back if that's the scenario. If we're thinking left wing, just let Rashford have a season. He played under Carrick, as Kieran says. He played his best football under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer when it was a less strict environment and he was trusted and appreciated. And I think Carrick would know how to manage him. And I don't care what he does off the pitch as long as he puts 20-something goals on the scoreboard. You know what I mean? And he gives you options. He's very different to Mbeumo and Cunha because what we're saying about the likes of the Diamandes and stuff like that, I did say earlier, and I think his end product could be better. His decision making at times is like, what were you trying to do there? What was in your brain to try and do that? But he's more direct. He's faster. He's more exciting when he's on it. And he's free.
He's free.
He's free.
Yeah. No, I think we've. Yeah, but I think that it is going to be all out midfield market this summer. There's going to be no winger spot. I don't think.
It has to be the midfield.
Oh, it's blurringly obvious.
Times.
Yeah, I think in every game you can see it.
Yeah, Kieran, you're going to hit this one. I've annoyed Mum now. I'm going to annoy you. Okay. Right. Kobe Mainoo is being heralded as a superstar after the other night's performance. Right. Kobe Mainoo was composed and he was good. That was it.
Yeah.
There was
You're not going to annoy me with that
moment where he goes on his wee run, right? But if you actually look at how open that midfield was in that game, a good team would have killed United for the space that Mainoo and Casemiro left between. You had three lads pushing and our midfielders shrinking into the defence because they were so scared to go up and push high. And I looked at him when everything that's brilliant and terrible about Kobe Mainoo came out in the Brentford game. There's potential there. Maybe it's his partner in Casemiro because he hasn't got the legs. But for me, it was like, calm down. That was not the interstellar performance that you think it was. No. There was a lot wrong in what he did the other night.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you there. We've seen the best of what Kobe Mainoo is capable of and can do. And we've also seen now, like you said, where it could be he needs a partner with legs, like cover every blade of grass. That will maybe buy in the summer. But I'm not saying, I think Kobe Mainoo will be important in our squad next season. And he's a lot to learn. He's a kid. But don't be hailing him as a superstar because of a TikTok clip of him some dribble that Ahmad couldn't finish.
Yeah. Always a highlight reel.
Yeah. Like Anthony.
This is it. Kobe Mainoo does that and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, Kobe's world class. This is the Kobe that Amram didn't see and all this crack. And it's like, well, hold on a minute, guys. What Amram saw is that when you play Kobe Mainoo in midfield, you're conceding 20 yards on the football pitch because he can't close down.
Yeah.
He's going to need to be taught to press.
If you big up a young player, and all it is positive, feedback, they buy into that and they think they're the superstar. Before they have even established themselves as a senior football player. But the British press do that. And then something goes wrong and they bring them back down to earth. So, and that's all it is. Like most people don't even watch a football match. They don't analyse a football match. They look at the highlight reels after it and say, oh my God, he had a brilliant game. They don't see the passes missed, the misplaced passes. Do you know where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
They don't see the full 90 minutes. They don't analyse full 90 minutes.
Yeah. Or when teams run through your zone.
Yeah, but all I seen on Tuesday was that that highlight of Kobe Mainoo dribbling into the box and passing to Ahmad.
Yeah.
Was played on a loop all day.
And Kobe has no competition at the minute.
No.
He knows he's going to start. So there's no fear factor in him to give 120% because he knows that 80% is going to put him on the pitch next week.
Yeah, because it's either that or Agarte.
No,
or
he's
Jack Fletcher.
gone.
Yeah.
No, he's not ready.
Exactly, which and is not Jack Fletcher's fault, but that's the
No, he's
state of
just
behind
not
it.
ready
And
yet.
also for Kobe Manu, it sounds like I'm being really negative on him. He is starting to show things to me that you look at and go, there's something there.
I thought
Untalented, a bit raw,
yeah.
needs to be nurtured, but there's something in that lad where like that run was exceptional. He took everyone out.
No,
Do you
he's
know who it reminded me of?
brilliant.
Pogba. The way
Yeah.
Pogba can glance and
Aye,
the way
that
he
lazy
dances.
run.
Yeah. Kobe Manu moved at about 10 miles an hour and took three lads
Yeah.
completely out of it because there's one where he goes to touch the ball, doesn't touch the ball, lets the momentum, but it's the confidence to know that you don't have to move the ball constantly. You know, it was a very intelligent run where he kind of just showed what he's brilliant at. I thought he should have shot.
Yeah. I thought, but I thought,
Wasn't that saved, that Ahmad shot?
Pardon?
Didn't the goalkeeper save the Ahmad shot?
The defender got back and cleared it.
The defender, he came back and in the inside of his leg, but
Back it off.
yeah,
it was well defended, but it was such a weak, lazy, expectant finish from an Ahmed Diallo that has no right to do that. I mean, he was trying to stroke the ball into the net like prime Ronaldo instead of just blasting it in.
Burying it.
Yeah, I thought as well. Kobe Manu have seen improvement in his tackling and ball winning that on Monday night as well. One thing I noticed about it, one thing I noticed is he's maybe improved on his game. So as well, like you're saying,
I think that their positioning, Kieran, is because they don't have the pace and energy to keep up with, you know, what we expect from a modern press. Like, to hark back to, I watched last night's game and Stanisic, Kimmich, on the other side, Vitinha, João Neves, 90 minutes of just, if you have the ball, we are coming for the ball. Expect it. I don't care if you're standing in your 6-yard box, we are coming for the ball. As a team, you know, they will
João
squeeze
Neves'
the
goal,
you.
though.
Huh?
João Neves' goal. For the smallest man on the pitch.
But
his goal was just, that header was just brilliant.
He's just a very intelligent footballer.
Yeah.
He knew what was coming. They'd obviously worked on it. He started on the outside of the box and snaked his way in, and it was the perfect pass, and in the back of the net it goes. Because nobody was expecting João Neves to head the ball, and it was just a genius move from PSG. Drawn up like an American football team and just really, really well worked.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
The press. I would not like to play against Vitinha and Neves.
No.
I don't think anybody would at the minute.
No, they're pests, the two of them.
That's what you need.
The best in world football, isn't it?
You know, that's the type of midfield engine you need, I think, in any top team.
You do?
Legs and running and energy.
Legs,
it's just something that I think Kobe might be able to learn, but Casemiro can't give you anymore. So, to that, do we just need to sign these energetic midfielders? And the one that I want is Carlos Baleba. I don't think the Carlos Baleba's bad season is going to put me off.
No. Did you watch him in his last game? The Chelsea one?
Yeah, it was the Baleba.
That was the Baleba that we were looking to sign last summer. And apparently, well, according to Fabrizio Romano, person terms are still all agreed. Player side all agreed. Just whatever fee we can get him off Brighton for. So it seems to be the way.
Sticky point, isn't it, Kieran?
But they're not going to be looking 90 to 100 million. They can't ask that for him this season.
No.
I think this season the transfer will come much earlier in the window, and I think when it does come, Baleba will have more of an influence on it this time. I mean, I did read, I think Romano said that as a Cameroonian lad, he supported United. When he didn't get his move to Manchester United, he was utterly gutted. Personally, professionally, he was just wounded. It wasn't just, I want to go to United because United's a bigger club than Brighton. It was a real personal thing for him where he felt like this could be my only chance to get that move and you took that from me. And he's done a really good job of getting that out of his system as a younger man. Like, he's only 22.
Yeah.
You know, for a 22-year-old lad to have your dream club move taken away from you, you're going to react in a very immature way, not a very professional sort of way. He's only 22, and I think he has won Hertzler back around, because Hertzler was glowing of him in his assessment post Chelsea, because he was Kante-esque again. He was everywhere.
Yeah, coming up to the summer window, you say?
Well, I think Fabian Hertzler is quite a shrewd man, quite an intelligent man.
Mm-hmm. So we're coming up to the window. Yeah, I think Blebo's one of the few midfielders we need. But it looks the most certain, I think, at this stage, guys. I think it looks not certain, but it looks the most nearly there, most obvious, first in the door, I think.
I am 90% certain that Ali Anderson will be playing in light blue next year.
Nearly 100% certain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
City are losing the players.
Have you heard the value that Nottingham Forest have put on him?
No.
120. This is from ESPN. 120. And United apparently have walked away and said they're not getting into a bidding war. Not for ridiculous money like that, because they need a couple. Like.
Is Elliot Anderson worth £120 million to Manchester United? No. But this is where football gets squiffy. Is he worth £120 million to Man City? Probably. I mean, he answers Man City's bigger question in that he is an energetic, ball-playing midfielder with an eye for the final pass and a talent for scoring goals. So, and he's playing for what has been a very poor Forest team this season and covered himself in glory a couple of times. So, if you've got that perfect setup like City do and the team that City do, adding Anderson in is going to look inspired. If you spend £120 million in Elliot Anderson and struggle to get another midfielder because of it, you're going to look like idiots. So
we need other midfielders.
Other midfielders, yeah.
We need three.
Yeah.
I don't know where two is coming from, because we need three.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think two starting midfielders. I think two first team quality midfielders absolutely are a must. First and foremost, whoever the two are, whether it's Tonali is the second one or Wharton, or I've seen the Addison rumours creep up again from Atlanta. But
I'm almost saying that, yeah.
Seen that creeping up again. And then, Hackney was one as well. We spoke about, I think, before Middlesbrough. Played under Carrick. Maybe could be maybe the third one. Could be the cheaper squad midfielder.
They're in the playoffs now.
Yeah. If we're losing...
Alan Varela from Porto. He's an Argentinian.
No.
I'm not telling you. This is the rumours. We're talking about rumours. Right? Apparently City and Atletico are interested.
If City and Atletico can afford to take a punt on a lad that plays in Portugal who's Argentinian, United cannot.
Well, we can't afford to get a one signing wrong. United, I think that's the state that we're in at the minute.
Actually, not midfield.
No, because the midfield's the midfield hasn't been right for 10 years plus.
A long time.
There can be no more passengers if Manchester United want to re-establish themselves as a football team that counts, because we've seen this before where United have clawed themselves into the Champions League, then gone to shit, then clawed themselves into the Champions League, then fallen apart, then clawed themselves into the Champions League, then took a punt on the shiny new thing from Europe and fallen apart, or it hasn't worked, or it's a failed transfer, blah, 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 blah. We're seeing the struggles now of Brian and Bumo, who's a Premier League proven entity, to try and assimilate into the Manchester United team as it is now. Mateus Cunha has been great in some moments and poor in other moments, and these are lads who are used to the league. You can't afford another one like Benjamin Sesko, because Benjamin Sesko has all but got away with it so far. Because Manchester United have had other goal scorers. Bruno Fernandes is having the season he is, and we're phenomenal at set pieces. Like we are second behind only Arsenal in set pieces for goal generation, so nobody should be considered outside of the Premier League, in my opinion, to play centre midfield next season for Manchester United. And even at that, there are no guarantees that if you buy Carlos Baleba or an Adam Morton or a Tonali, that it's going to work, that it's going to be as good as it is in their other clubs. So if you're going to narrow the odds of the gamble, well, no foreign players, nobody from Porto, nobody from Germany, nobody from France, nobody who does not play in England. I would take Hackney over Varela, and I would take Hackney over Diamande, because he understands what it's like to play in that league, and he doesn't need that season to adjust and assimilate.
Yeah, ready to fight.
Fucking Adam Morton.
Just physical, box to box, top quality, Premier League proven midfielders.
British, loves the row, enjoys the physical side of the game, doesn't shy out of it. Adam Morton.
Bit of shithousery, like, for good measure.
There's nothing wrong with building British. There's not. I mean, England are one of the favourites going into the World Cup for a reason. They have an abundance of talent, and we're an English club. And we were not in a position where we can wait to grow our own English talent. So sign Adam Morton. I don't think we'll get Elliot Anderson, but sign Morton.
Yeah. It'll be very, very interesting. It'll be exciting one. Morton and Baleba. It'll be good there. Copy Mini there as well. It'll be some good combinations you could put in there as well. That would maybe suit players that have the legs beside Kobe Mini. They use to see we're going to need a squad next season playing in Europe. That's the other thing. And we're losing Casemiro and looks like Ugarte. So there's two midfielders out.
Did I hear today that Ugarte is gone?
That's what I've been reading. That he's basically nailed on. He's not wanted. He's not. No passengers. Like you remember the interview with Barada. You know, no player's going to sit there. Yeah, they're not going to. 2 seasons, he said. If they don't prove their worth in 1 to 2 seasons, then out the door. You're being sold.
So apparently conversations have been had with certain players that aren't needed next season, just to politely inform them, not in a very negative way, or not like you're not needed here. But I think Josh Xerxes and Manuel Ugarte were the 2 names that were mentioned, where a conversation has been had with them to turn around and say, look, and we're really sorry it didn't work, but there isn't going to be a squad place for you next season. So you need to inform your agent that you're going to be looking at other clubs.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. You don't have to, it's not going to be, just don't take it personally. If you're a professional and like, don't get me wrong, and so actually he wasn't good enough, but you can see the way, he gets on with the squad. He kicks every ball with them when his attitude's good. It just hasn't worked out for him, and I wish him all the best. But I think you just have to cut your losses and try and recoup some funds into the transfer pot. It's going to be better invested going forward.
Yeah. Do you not think there are examples, Mum, why you don't buy from Europe?
I'm not all aboard the only British players, Rory. Like, I mean, name one team that's won the Premier League that has the majority of British players.
No, I know what you mean. If you look at the transfers of last season, Manchester United bought Benjamin Sesko, Cunha, and Brian Mbeumo, which has worked. They've come from the Premier League. But I do think that if you look at, it's hard to have an all-British team because of how expensive they are and the money that they generate from moving around clubs. It's a tough one because if you look at it, like, who have Arsenal got that's British? Ben White doesn't really play. Saka's a baller. But
Rice.
Declan Rice. Actually, there's more than I thought, yeah. Rice, Saka. Man City are notorious for not signing British players. They like the Spanish and Portuguese contingent because it suits the tiki-taka style play. So I concede your point, yes, but I don't think there's anything wrong when you are a big team like Manchester United can afford it than investing in young British talent. Like, if you ask me who I want to sign in the summer, right, I think United need 5 signings. I think they need 2 fullbacks and 3 centre midfielders would be my choice. If I got that, I would be like, oh God, we have nailed this transfer window. And if someone was saying to me, who do you want to sign? The 2 names that keep rattling, 3 names that I am certain on that I would want to get is, and you probably won't get all of these, but Adam Wharton, Carlos Baleba, and I would love Lewis Hall from Newcastle.
Lewis Hall?
The left back.
Left back.
I think he's brilliant.
He was rumoured.
Mum, you don't like English players.
Oh my God, here we go again. That is so untrue.
Lewis Hall.
That is so untrue. Well, but you and I had a conversation today. Who did I lord up? Who?
Okay.
Who?
You rolled your eyes at Lewis
Yeah.
Hall there, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Because
You
I
did.
don't reckon. No, I don't think that he's the superstar that you think he is.
Okay. Do you know that Lewis Hall is the odds-on favourite for the left back in the team of the season in the Premier League?
Probably.
So you're telling me that the odds-on favourite for team of the year in the Premier League is not good enough to transfer to Manchester United? Like, what is the basis for you rolling your eyes? Give me a left back in the league who's better that we should target, or a left back that you think is better. Because the eye roll to me was bizarre. It was like, well, what would make you not take Lewis Hall? You don't want the best left back in the league?
He's a good player, Rory. Yeah, and he probably will win, the player of the season or team of the season, whatever, right? But it's one season. He's had a good season in a terrible Newcastle team. It's not a terrible Newcastle team. They're having a terrible season. Do you know what I'm saying? But you just don't go, and I've said this over, you just don't go on one season. Oh, he's having a great season, we'll get him. I'm not talking, no matter what nationality they are. You don't have to do stats and all that sort of thing.
He's looking them up.
Of course he is, because he's going to...
Yeah, he is. Statman. Statman.
No.
I just wanted to see what age he was. It was he's 22.
He's 22, yeah.
Yeah, he's young.
He's come through the Newcastle team at a time when, yes, Newcastle are poor, but he's still come through the Newcastle team. He's 22 years of age, and he's going to go into the team of the year. And as you said, a very, very poor Newcastle team. Is that not credentials that you would want from your starting left back?
No, because I'll reiterate what I said. It's based on one season.
Okay.
Yes, he's a young player.
Tell me a better left back that you would sign.
Huh?
Which better left back? Who would you sign outside of Lewis Hall? Who do you think is better than Lewis Hall in the Premier League?
Top of my head, but it wouldn't be him.
But
that's what I said. I can't think off the top of my head, right?
But there are better in your opinion.
There's bound to be.
That is a biased statement in itself. I don't know anyone that's better than Lewis Hall, and someone's bound to be better than he is.
Is it because he's not exactly a star name? Is it the superstar factor that he's not like a
fucking English?
Shut up. That is so not true.
Fuck me.
Rodgers.
Yeah, doesn't make sense to me. He's a 10, isn't he?
Very, very heavily considering him.
Is Morgan Rogers a 10? A 10? Or is he midfield? Or is he midfielder?
Left midfield.
So in the same kind of role that Cunha's playing at the minute.
Yeah, that's where my head is, Kieran. What is the fascination with Matheus Cunha being replaced?
Yeah, I don't think Cunha's one of the few at the minute on form that doesn't need replaced.
Yeah, but I think what they're saying is, right, you need quality sitting on the bench, that if Cunha's out with an injury or whatever, that
true.
Come on, and replace him.
Awesome. I love this logic. So what we'll do is, right, we'll sign Matheus Cunha, right, and we've nobody to play midfield, and our fullbacks are total shit. But let's sign the replacement left winger first. Fucking moron.
Works for me.
Who comes out with this crap? This is the sort of stuff that gets me really, really annoyed.
Journalists.
Fucking £200 million on a new attack, right? Midfield burning to the ground. We're about to go into the new season with Jack Fletcher and Kobe Mainoo. But we're going for Morgan Rogers and Rafael Leao. Fuck up.
Yeah.
And you know who's like actually sitting on
Right,
and I say sitting in the morning with my cup of tea watching Sky Sports News, and what are they doing? Sitting reading the fucking back pages of the Daily Mirror and the Sun and the transfer pages as if they're God's truth, and like, oh my God, why? Any wonder?
What happens is somebody writes an article and they all run with it.
Yeah.
But you know why these players get linked? They're flashy names. It's there's no buzz around. You know, United could be saying, when you say United could be saying Carlos Baleba, or United are practically looking at Adam Wharton, or Manchester United are interested in Hackney here, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no real story there. People will look at that and go, man,
yeah,
all right. But
I
for
expect
better
that.
or for worse, when you say that Manchester United are considering Rafael Leao and Morgan Rogers, as Kieran and I, as fans of Mateus Cunha, would sit and go, why? Good story, because it gets you emotional one way or the other.
Clickbait nonsense half the time. That's all it is. And it's only going to get worse. Once the transfer window opens, it's just going to get 10 times worse. We're going to be linked with loads of superstars.
Who would you say?
Who would I say? I agree with you. I would say obviously Baleba. We're not going to get an honest one. I would like Tonali. And Warden. They would be my three.
Tonali's an experienced guys.
Too experienced. So then he's about 27, 28. Is that right? Around that age.
Yeah, you can
primarily proven.
Like, isn't he?
Yeah. And then you have the Baleba coming in 22, Adam Wharton 22, 23 with Kobbie Mainoo. I'd be happy with that midfield squad coming into the new season. And then obviously I would say in the left back, whether it's Lewis Hall or not, I think we need a good top quality Premier League left back to compete with Luke Shaw, who's 30, 31 now. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the World Cup's coming up that he's stayed fit so much this season, which is unusual. But
hey ho, he always does.
Yeah. We'll see what he does next season. But
next season.
he's still top quality left back, in my opinion.
Has Luke Shaw played for Thomas Tuchel's England?
I don't know, actually. I don't think so. Has he?
I don't think so.
No, he's definitely
for Talks England.
Let's talk about.
Oh, Mom, if I find this, you are never going to live this down. I swear to all my God. England's last games. Holy shit.
Does Tuchel not play 3 at the back and wing backs?
No, Tuchel's been playing 4-2-3-1.
Okay.
In England's last games, their starting left back has been O'Reilly from City.
Oh.
Yeah. And the backup left back is Lewis Hall.
Hey!
Shaw hasn't featured.
Maybe not then.
Trust the wee ginge.
Maybe he's just wised up when his head is dirty.
No, like I know I got animated and stuff. I just think he's a brilliant left back, and I think he's so young and he's fast and he's physical, and he reminds me of a younger, hungry Shaw.
I haven't seen enough from Celia's truth. Don't watch any Newcastle matches.
You think I reminds you? Yeah, when we watched Shaw coming from Southampton,
do a lot worse, like.
You know, young English, proven, obviously being picked for the England team. You know, playing in a Newcastle squad. Yeah. Luke Shaw still
for an English monitor.
Yeah, rotating between Shaw and Hall.
Yeah, I think so. That was we felt Diego Leon to come on a bit. Patrick Dorgu's back in the squad now. It'd be interesting to see whether he's going to play left back or left wing. And there's another one that it has come out of my mouth after the Rafael Leao discussion and the Morgan Rogers discussion, Patrick Dorgu is Matheus Cunha's backup.
Yeah. Under Carrick, he's made Cunha's backup, and he's done well.
It just shows the amount of rubbish that they write and then regurgitate.
It's clickbait. It's a good story. Yeah. They're big names at the minute. Morgan Rogers on our side of the water because he's had a phenomenal season with Aston Villa, and Rafael Leao for the reasons that Kieran and I outlined earlier, because he became a bit of a FIFA sensation, didn't he, Kieran?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I don't think he's wrapping up any trees in Syria to warrant.
Well, apparently he's not.
That.
Chad.
That's probably why, because he's fell out with people at AC Milan, and then sure we all know in the summer, let's link with Manchester United. That'll get some views. All our clubs will come in. United's in for him. You want this player? United's going to come in making a bid. You better make a bid now.
Especially if Portugal do well in the World Cup.
110. And I think they will go for it. Portugal's phenomenal.
Prices up. Yeah.
But I don't think, like I said, I'm not going back to the Marcus Rashford conversation, but I think if there ever was, we have Cunha and Dorgu, but if we were ever to go for a left winger, needed a left winger, under Carrick's system, and if Carrick gets the job next year, which we think he will, then who haven't played under Ollie, Rashford costs nothing, just the wages. That would be the only sign of a new left-sided player we would be getting if we get one. But they'll be all far and ahead from midfield. I'm excited.
He's a good utility player as well, Rashford. I mean, I don't think Marcus Rashford should be playing for Manchester United. Okay, as much as I love him, I think he has burnt the bridges with fans and the football club, and his behaviour was unbecoming, okay? But in the current context of where we are, right, as a football club and what we need to do in the summer, he's a very handy player to have around the club if Carrick can settle his head. Because Joshua Zirkzee, I'm expecting to leave, okay? Patrick Dorgu, Matheus Cunha, Ahmed Diallo, Brandon Mbeumo. Outside of those, the winger options are the likes of Shea Lacey and those much younger players. All of a sudden you throw Rashford in there and he's an option. He can play up front as support for Sesko. He can play left wing to allow Cunha to come in the middle if there's ever a need. He can play, he can play in the middle behind the striker. He's done that this season at Barcelona for Lewandowski, albeit in substitute performances. But when they've needed goals, they have thrown him on as like a striker playing off the striker to see can Lewandowski get him in behind. And I take Mum's point. Is Rashford going to want that? But if Marcus Rashford can't get his Barcelona move, Mum, this could be the option that's available to him. It's either that or you lower your wages to go to another football club. So he either stays on his massive money in his last year at Manchester United and does what he's told, or he doesn't play football.
Yeah, because the wages go up with Champions League qualification too.
Yeah.
Look, his wages are his wages. Okay, I don't think we can think about that. We're not paying them. Okay, we're about to clear the wage bill off, and again, there are other priorities in the transfer market than signing a left winger, right, or a backup striker for that matter. Rashford, to me, in my head, now that we've Dorgu and Cunha to facilitate the left wing position, facilitates a body that can play in any role across that forward line. Just what he is becoming personally. He's a utility player. He plays when needed in the position that he's needed, and he churns out a performance in the hope that when his contract ends at Manchester United, he can sign for a big European club. That's why I would play the Rashford style.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to say. 28? 28?
28, 29, is he?
No, 20, he's not 20, I think he's 29. I think he's 27, 28. Maybe just turned 28.
I think he's 27, 28. So there is a career after the next season at Manchester United. There is another 3 to 4 years at a big European club where he can go on a free transfer, and because he's possibly going on a free transfer, he might get something near the 250 grand a week mark, because he's still a big name, Rashford. So yeah, I think if it's played right, if he's not going to Barca, there's a place for United in next, a place for Rashford in the United squad next year. But yeah, I mean, there's so many conundrums in United at the minute. I don't think Mount fits.
No, I agree.
No. I was going to say you forgot about Mount.
I thought Mount was, yeah, the trick in Mount because he was successor to Bruno Fernandes. But I can't see Bruno Fernandes going anywhere for the next couple of years.
No.
Yeah, and he doesn't really suit centre midfield when he's playing in a 2. Mason Mount needs to be part of a 3 where the holding midfielder is behind 2 midfielders and he gets to push forward. But you've got more of an all-encompassing role when you play as a 2 in a midfield 4-2-3-1. So I agree with him. I don't know where, and he's not quick enough to play left wing.
Well, there's talk also of Matthias de Ligt
leaving.
Yeah.
Wow. So, Harry's getting on a bit. Is Maguire. So do United go out and sign apparently there's high hopes for Eden Heaven and Yelling Euro.
Yeah.
Eden Heaven didn't put a sort of like foot out of place. He was very jittery that game against, who was it? I don't know, it was Brentford or the game before, but he was like a lad that hadn't played in a while. Do you know what I'm saying? That he was too eager to get into tackles, but he settled into the game.
I thought Thiago had him on toast and made him look like a wee boy. Just couldn't put the ball away.
But Thiago does that to a lot of players, sorry.
Yeah, he does. But I think he wouldn't have done it to Saliba and Gabriel.
But they're seasoned players. They're seasoned pros.
I get that, and that's not a knock on Eden Heaven's future development. I'm not saying Eden Heaven couldn't get to the point where he can handle a Thiago. I'm saying he couldn't handle him now.
Yeah.
So
I think for one, yeah.
Sorry, Ken.
No, I think you're right in what you're saying, Rory. I think like for the future, I think Eden Heaven for a cost of £1 million is a phenomenal signing for the future of Manchester centre backs of United. And Euro is young too. And they've both shown, we can see what kind of weaknesses they have at them already and what their strengths are. And, you could see them in a few years being enough quality with the right development. But I think, like you say, if the Ligt is going to go, I hope he was phenomenal until he got that injury. Whatever this problem is with his back, he's probably one of the better players in their back line. And he would be starting if he wasn't injured. So if he does go, which I hope he doesn't, I hope he does recover and comes back. Maybe that's why they're not bringing him back. Because they have Maguire there and they have,
A back injury is very tricky though.
Yeah, you don't want to make it,
It can occur at any time.
But if they can hold on to Ligt, that'll save them going into the market for a first team centre back, which is what I would be hoping. If you want to invest so much into the midfield and the wing back roles.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if Matthias de Ligt goes, and the point I was trying to make, Mum, is Lenny Euro and Eden Heaven cannot be Manchester United starting centre backs. I don't think either of them should be starting if you're pushing for titles or starting in a Champions League game. Not a big one
I
either.
can't see Matthias de Ligt leaving. But it was just in one of the articles that there is speculation that United want him, that the United board want him gone because of the recurring injuries.
Look, I think back to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, right? The transfer strategy and the players we didn't get was an issue. Ole also didn't help himself, trying to keep people happy that in my opinion, didn't deserve to be at Manchester United. He wasn't ruthless enough, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, when it came to scything and replacing players. Now, that could have been because he maybe looked at the board and the weak transfer strategy and thought, well, God, I'm going to keep what I have because I don't trust these guys to replace it. But I think Wilcox and Carrick need to be ruthless. If de Ligt is going to be injury prone, he needs to be replaced. If we think there's an issue with Manuel Ugarte playing any minutes next season, he has to go. Joshua Zirkzee has to go. They need to be told there's no room for you in next year's squad. We'd rather play Shea Lacey than put you on the pitch. I don't think there's anything wrong with that either.
No. The signs are that that's the attitude now, which is good and encouraging. That's why it's nice for a change going into summer, like going into a summer window, feeling confident, or not confident, but feeling assured that our flaws will be sorted.
Yeah. And you know what? It's a lovely position to be in, to be able to have this conversation, Kieran. But right, see, if you look at Manchester United squad this season and next season, it's an increased fixture schedule next season, right? And that's because of the Champions League, not the Europa League or the Conference League, the best in Europe, right? Manchester United have one goalkeeper and no defined backup. Sani Lamans, then scrap, essentially, okay. Diogo Dalot and Nozer Mazraoui to play right back? No, neither. Matthijs de Ligt, if he stays, and Harry Maguire? Yeah, okay. Lenny Oro is back up. Lisandro Martinez, Aidan Heavens. Okay. Fair enough, take that. Left backs, Luke Shaw. Question marks. And then who else? Dalot gets put out there because we've no other left back. Midfield, as it stands, that we know is staying next season, we'd be going into the Champions League playing Kobe Mainoo and Jack Fletcher. Bruno Fernandes would be the 10. Mason Mount would be Bruno Fernandes' backup. Okay, good. Cunha and Dorgu potentially out on the left. I'll take that. Sesko up front on his own because we think that Xerxes going to go. And then we have Brown and Mbeumo and Amad Diallo out on the right. I'll take that, right? So when you actually map that out, this summer is huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
I think it wasn't Laurie Patel? Yeah. Ben Jacobs.
Backup goalkeeper.
6-7 players.
Easy, Kieran. Easy.
And I think Ben Jacobs and Laurie Patel, who's one of the main correspondents under United, seems to be under United, have come out and said that already, that don't be surprised if it's 6 or 7 players coming in the door.
They don't have to be stars. I think you made a brilliant point earlier with, if you got Tonali and Baleba, or you got Wharton and Baleba, you could sign Hackney.
Yeah. That's who I would go.
Hackney could come in. Yeah, grow within a team and a structure where he knows that he's fourth choice centre midfielder and he has to prove that he's good enough to play for United. And I'm not angry with that because I think when you map out that you need 2 wing backs and 2 centre midfielders to start in the Premier League, it's probably unrealistic to think you're getting a third big midfielder or that you're going to get, 2 right backs in one window. Probably going to be Dalot next season with somebody and Mazraoui as a utility player to play as and when needed, because if Mazraoui plays right back, Dalot can play left back. So I don't think that either of them will go next summer, but they need to be replaced.
Yeah, big time.
So it's going to be a very interesting window.
Yeah, and don't forget the World Cup as well. Like, we all love watching the World Cup, and sometimes it can unearth a few stars, a few names that teams scramble for at the end of the window. That there's that excitement as well. Yeah. So you don't know, but
that's a lucky dip, so it is.
Yeah, but you would like to think if United have any ambition for next season that they would have their midfielders signed before the World Cup.
And well scouted, Kieran.
Mm-hmm.
I think Carrick and Wilcox will know exactly who they want. It's whether Wilcox has been told to engage Carrick in the conversation or whether Carrick is being kept separate to the conversation until it's defined what his role is next year. Is he leaving? Is it a new manager? I don't think they'll have discussed the transfer targets, but then when it becomes a reality, it's going to be interesting to see. Wilcox will go to Carrick and say, right, we're thinking this. And then Carrick will probably turn around and go, well, actually, I was thinking this.
Yeah, but I would think, like discussions would have happened already regardless. Like, look, Michael, if you're like, your role this season, like, if you were to stay, or what would you do, or be in some kind of involvement of the conversation of transfer targets for Manchester United, or what do you feel that we need in this position, or some kind of, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think, like, you look at the end of the season in May, come to the end of May, and then the decision about the manager, and then the World Cup starting. How long does it take to get if it's not Carrick, get that manager in the door, and then start talking to players, and then you're the World Cup's there. So it's hard.
Pure opinion here. I don't think any of those conversations will have been had with Michael Carrick. I don't think Manchester United, under its new regime with the defined structure that they have, would have transfer conversations for the summer with an interim coach that could be shown the door. And I think if they had those conversations, then they're showing their hand to Michael Carrick that it is Carrick next year. So no would be the short answer here. And I think they'll wait. I think if Carrick beats Liverpool, right? So we're almost out of time, so we'll move on to the Liverpool game. I think if Carrick beats Liverpool, he gets announced as Manchester United manager.
Yeah, I don't see how they could hold off. You know, if they're kind of confident in it's what he's done so far, and he turns around and beats Liverpool back to back.
Yeah, 3 games out from the season, as you say, the conversations can begin, the planning can begin early. They can map out what they plan to do next season, who stays, who goes, all of that stuff. And he achieves his mathematical goal of being in the Champions League with a win over our biggest rivals. And it's at Anfield, isn't it?
No, it's at Old Trafford.
No, it's at Old Trafford.
Oh, well then.
We beat them 2-1 at Anfield.
Announce it on the pitch.
Our last home game is against Nottingham Forest. Where traditionally, obviously, you get the speech from the managers and the families and the walk around the pitch, and Carrick gets the mic. I'm not fucking leaving.
Yeah. Right. Predictions for the Liverpool game, folks, to finish this off.
Oh, you can go first, Shaggy.
3-2.
2.
3-2?
3-2. Yeah.
Who scores for United?
I can see Casemiro scoring, Bruno Fernandes, and Benjamin Sesko.
Okay, brave choice. Kieran?
2-1 United.
Okay, who scores for United?
I think Cunha's fit. Cunha comes on, Cunha scores. And Casemiro. With an assist from Bruno.
Okay. I think this will be a draw. I think it's going to be 2 each. And I think Benjamin Sesko will score twice. I just think that he'll catch them once in the counter-attack, and then I think there'll be a set piece where Benjamin Sesko puts the ball in the net. I think Liverpool will know to mark Casemiro. They're a big enough team to know that he is a real threat, and I think they'll take that threat serious. But I think United will struggle to keep Liverpool out. It was such an open game, the Brentford game, that it just looked at it and went, Liverpool will kill us if we do this.
Yeah, well, Liverpool have no Mohamed Salah.
Yeah, he's out.
And have goalkeeper issues at the minute.
They do. Yeah, they do.
So it could be a good score draw, but
it'll be interesting.
Yeah, but I think a point secures Champions League.
Yes, it does.
Because Brighton can't catch us. They're the only team that can knock us out of the top 5.
Nope. So it does. Well, look, thanks for listening to us, guys. I think we ran over a bit, but Mum will be able to do our magic editing show.
We ran over a lot.
Yes.
Yeah. But we haven't been in a while. Give us some faith. So look, we will be back next week. Hopefully Michael Carrick will be announced now as Manchester United manager. I think everyone on this podcast wants it. If you don't want it, let us know why. And give us a like and a follow, and we'll see you all next week.